Thanks again for logging into the video. I've been speaking about productivity 2 days back in a small conference, and I was reminded of a very important insight as to how productivity can be enhanced. In simple terms, productivity means how much you can do towards a particular project or the basic responsibilities you have, how much you can do most of the phases of responsibility in a short period of time. That defines your productivity. Productivity means the process or the kind of the quantum of work a person can be doing in a given stipulated point of time. So I recently came across an article written by Dr. Earl Nightingale, who has been a famous motivational speaker in United States of America way back in 1950s. And that man gave me an idea. The idea was very simple, at the same time it was very approachable. So I thought of taking a few minutes to share that idea to you. The principle called as the idea generation principle, wherein you can use that and you can maximize the amount of productivity you are giving towards your work, or if you're a student, how much you can involve more in study time. Means everything can be done quite easily using this technique. You need to have a journal for this. I've been talking about journal writing in most of my videos. This is my journal. I was recently given a very good gift. This is one of the gifts, a treasure that I have received in a particular workshop by my dearest students, and I use this because I have been talking about journal writing in the class, so that has stimulated the boys and girls to present a wonderful gift. Can't get bigger than this, a wonderful gift to me. But other than that, I would like to show you some of the journals I had been using in the past. There were heaps and heaps of books I used to have writing. The pen and the journal I always used to carry. Upstairs when I go for workout, I carry the journal, and when I'm driving, I carry the journal. You might be asking me, there are plenty of apps in the phone. A very recent app is called as the Evernote app, which is very compatible to write down all the insights and ideas. So you can very much use that. So you might be arguing with that standpoint, but nothing matches writing. So when you are writing things on a piece of paper or on a journal, physiology breeds psychology. So when you write, when you use your hand movement, your brain works even more faster. So that's why. So for this idea generation principle, you need a journal. You need a small notebook or whatever you call. I call it as a journal. You can call whatever you want. So every day morning, you are supposed to be an early bird. Maybe wake up by 5 o'clock or 5:30, according to the convincing time that you have. But I'm always in the 5 o'clock club. I wake up at 5 o'clock and I start exercising my mind first of all. There is a separate video called as Daily Launches System. You might have seen that in my YouTube channel. Coming back to the subject, idea generation principle. Step number 1, you need to take a piece of paper in the morning or take your journal that I showed. That's more fun. Start writing some ideas that are flashing into your mind. And you can ask me ideas about what? Ideas about all the things that you would like to accomplish. I'm recording this video on August 20th, 2018. So maybe till August 30th, for the 10 days, you might be having a project that is rolling over or a particular task that you want to complete. Write that idea. Just write the task's name or the project's name on the top and try to write down as many ideas that are popping from your mind. Right? So when you write those ideas, depending upon the current level of mind state that you have, maybe during the daytime you might be having a current level of mind state which is not very much approachable, but in the early morning breeze contains magic. Okay, so that gives you a lot of chemicals, a lot of endorphins from the brain. It gives a lot of peptides, secreting in the brain, and it starts making you work from a different angle, and you will get tangible ideas related to that particular project, and you would be getting lots of new innovative thoughts as to how to complete that work or task or whatever you call. Write 5 or 10 points, or even otherwise, if you don't have any tasks or project, if it is not a project related or a project driven one, just write down some ideas that are coming from your brain, because that is a kind of a disposal of ideas at that point of time, and you need to capture those ideas. As Earl Nightingale says, ideas are like wet fish. You catch it, and if you're not noting down, it escapes from your palm like a wet fish. A wet fish never stays into your palm, right? It just jumps over it, the body slip it, and it gets escaped. Likewise, when the idea is not captured properly, it escapes from the body, escapes from your mind. So that's the idea here. So you have to write down as many ideas that come in the piece of paper. And during the course of the daytime, if you look into those ideas, you might be even surprised as to who has written all those ideas. I am not a person who thinks on this level, so you will be surprised with the level of thinking that have been executed in the early morning time. 5 days later, let's say for example, if you have written almost about 10 ideas per day, 5 days later you get a quantum of 50 ideas from your own brain, right? So innovation and marketing, if a person does not have these two things, the person will perish in the industry, innovation and marketing. So basically, these ideas will make you market your own ideas properly, make you assert your own ideas to the other people, because this has been coming from not an internet article, not a book that has been published by some author, not from a particular journal or a magazine. It has come from your brain, which is more valuable. It's your brain child. So if you have got 50 ideas, out of those 50 ideas, on the 5th day, I want you to take 2 ideas and start executing them. Out of 50 ideas, 2 ideas. Even if you are executing 2 ideas, then you are a very productive person. We are speaking about productiveness, right? So you are a very productive person if you are able to put 2 ideas out of the 50 into execution. And also, when you are executing these 2 ideas, and if they are coming up successful, you will be even more motivated to have more ideas execution, and you will be even more motivated to write more ideas the next day morning, right? So next day morning you have got something to be very much excited about. Tuesday you have been working on 2 ideas, and that ideas came up really well, and Wednesday morning you have a very big motivational aspect that on Tuesday 2 ideas worked up, so now I'm going to continue this from now on, so let me generate more ideas. So you'll start generating more ideas, and thereby you become more productive person. So why don't you try this from tomorrow morning? Write ideas. Write all the things that come out of your mind. Dr. Wayne Dyer, one of my favorite authors, who has written the world famous book called as Change Your Thoughts and Change Your Life. That gentleman had written one particular verse, and that verse reads a very important statement, and that statement goes like this: he who sweats more in training bleeds less in war. I even said it as a WhatsApp status yesterday. So he who sweats more in training bleeds less in war. A person who spends a lot of time in personal development and training himself or herself bleeds less in war. During troublesome situations, the person has got very, very less chance of getting dejected and depressed. The person can always stay in the A game. All right. So that's what is going to be possible for you if you're utilizing this idea generation exercise. All right. So I also read the 2 examples. J.K. Rowling, the script writer, when she was supposed to write a very quick phase of Harry Potter series, she spent almost about 13 days in one particular hotel room, and in all the 13 mornings she started scripting, and she finished the scripting for Harry Potter phase 2. In 13 days she scripted a world famous script, and that is being considered to be a very fond genre of movie by most of the people, by children, all the categories of people, the children, the middle-aged people, youngsters, all of us like Harry Potter, right? So J.K. Rowling used this particular method. And even prominent Bill Gates in 1974, when he was writing the code for BASIC of Windows, he spent almost about 12 weeks. And every single day morning in this 12 weeks, he was spending a lot of time in the early morning preparing, scripting the ideas of how to write encoding Windows. And what was the result? The result was he had Microsoft Windows, $1 billion product of his own, a brainchild of his own, and he has made it has seen him as a billionaire right now, and also a very good example for most of the entrepreneurs these days. So likewise, you have your own episode, just like J.K. Rowling had, just like Bill Gates had. Our own Dr. Kalam used to write all the scripts about his launching when he was a scientist. He used to write all the formulae and mathematical encryptions in the early morning. So productivity happens only when your mind is working on a very prone basis, which happens in the early morning. So why don't you try this idea generation? Your brain is getting exercised, right? So stop gazing over the phone immediately after you wake up from the bed, and start embracing your journal and pen after you get up from the bed, and start writing the ideas. Even one idea is good every single morning, right? So in a week span of time, you have got almost about 5 or 6 ideas, and in a month span of time, you have 30 or 35 ideas, and even one out of the 35 ideas will be considered to be a successful trigger for you. So think about this, and I'll be coming back with a next point in the next video. Thank you.